Hi, my name is Ilya Marotta. I am the Deputy Administrator and Chief Operating Officer of the Panama Canal. Very happy to hear. I'm going to share with you a little bit about sustainability for the Panama Canal, inclusion, and leadership. So I hope you enjoy the presentation. I am going to now share my screen. So I'm going to go real briefly about what is the Panama Canal. The Panama Canal basically is a water elevator that moves ships from one ocean to the other, Atlantic to Pacific, or vice versa. It operates with fresh water and it raises ships from sea level across the mountains of Panama and brings them to the other side. It's 50 miles long and it uses locks that are gravity operated to do this. So what's important about sustainability? This is a picture of the locks that were inaugurated in 2016. You can see there are a couple of very big vessels, which are called Panamax, which are bigger than we could put through the original locks. So we are a transportation and logistic hub of the Americas. And when the canal was going to be transferred from the US to Panama, we wanted to keep this very important route as a very significant maritime route. And we didn't want to lose relevance. Right now, we serve 144 trade routes, which touches over 1,700 ports in 160 countries. We also have a very good air hub, which is called COPA. So what have we done about sustainability in the Panama Canal since it was built? We have definitely been working on damming reservoirs. In the original lake, Gatun Lake was built in 1914, and in 1939, Marotta was built to provide enough water for the canal to operate because we depend on rainwater. We also had a very important landslide program on landslide control in Culebra Cut, which is the narrowest part of the Panama Canal. And there were some studies that were analyzed in 1939 to build the third set of locks, which was studied by the Americans. They actually started it and they stopped in 1942 because of World War II. Things that we have done, meanwhile, we have widened the cut. The Gaylord cut that you see today is not the Gaylord cut that was built originally. We went from 300 feet to 500 feet in width. We also are on the third system of locomotives. We've had three different generations, so we have moved with time. We also started working with 24 hours operations. Before we were just a daylight canal. We have also developed a maritime systems control, and we are looking into even expanding that a little bit more. Also vessel tracking systems with digitalization. So we've been modernizing. We replaced our entire tow track system. And then the ultimate was the building of the Panama Canal expansion program to be able to cap the new size vessels that were being deployed in the market and that we couldn't put through. So if we look at number of vessels, you can see it's been pretty steady, but what has increased is the cargo capacity, the tonnage. And that's what the Panama Canal is interested in. The bigger the vessel, the more the tolls. So we built the third set of locks to be able to capture that market that was not available to us in the Panamax size. Who are our major players? Containers, definitely. We have liquid bulks, we have grains. And you can see throughout the history from 1995 to 2021, how after we expanded the canal, the market increased significantly. So that tells you how expanding the canal for sustainability of the Panama Canal was critical to remain a key player in world market. This is an aerial view of the canal. If you look on the right side, you see two vessels transiting the original locks, the 1914 locks. So what we did is we added a third lane for the bigger vessels. Talking about sustainability, we also, since we rely on freshwater rainfall, we built some water-saving basins in the new locks that allow us to reuse 60% of the water that each ship needs to transit. So the new locks are capable of using 7% less water than the original locks, putting through a lot more cargo. Another aspect that was very important from the expansion program was reforestation. For each hectare that we deforested to build the project, we reforested twice as much. It was a 5-year program where it was 1 year plantation and 4 years maintenance. We also did animal rescue in all the areas that were impacted. Animals that did not move on their own, they were relocated to special areas. We also had a 5-year contract with the Smithsonian, where they were able to research in different areas that had never been excavated before, having very interesting findings. And we also had an archaeologist on site. When things were discovered, he was called within 48 hours, and over 2,000 artifacts were recovered. So if we look at the numbers, the third set of blocks in numbers, 2016 is when we inaugurated. You could see that most of the tonnage came from the Panamax locks. As of 2021, actually 55% of the tonnage comes through the new locks. So you can see in 2020 it was 49%, so it's increasing. How many ships have we put through? About 13,000, being container ships our number one market, LPG our second market, and LNG, which was a market we had not envisioned when we designed the project that would be also one of our top clients. The other clients remain dry bulk, liquid bulk, vehicle carriers, and passengers. And the Panamax Plus is very interesting. Panamax Plus are Panamax-sized vessels that could transit to the original locks, but with less cargo on board, because the draft we provide in the Panamax locks is 39.5 feet, and in the new locks is 50 feet when it's high rainy season. So we have smaller vessels coming with a lot more cargo, given our clients' economies of scale. Another way that shows the impact that the expansion of the Panama Canal had was the market share. We have competitors. We have the US West Coast ports with the intermodal system. We have the Suez Canal, and we have the Panama route. If you look at the different years, 2014, before we expanded the canal, market share, this is for the container trade, which is the most important for the Panama Canal. The US had 21%, we had 30%, and Suez had 48%. If you look at 2021, starting 2016, the canal was expanded. You can see how the Panama Canal has regained some of that market share, and we're now 52%, the USA 13%, and Suez 35%. Something that is very important for Panama as a country is the contributions we make to the government. The Panama Canal is an agency that, once we have established the money we need for maintenance, investment, operation, and reserves, everything else goes to the government, to the central government, for them to be invested in things the government considers are needed for the country. So since the canal was transferred from the US to Panama, we have given the government over $18 billion. And you can see the contrast from the original money that the country received from the US government, which is $1.8 billion between 1913 and the year 2000. So this is a key asset for our country. I'm trying to move the slide. Oops. Okay, water, one of the main issues. The Panama Canal will not perform if we don't have rainfall. And we have seen in the latest years, we have seen how we have more droughts more frequently, and also we have more extreme weather, more floods. So we need enough storage so we don't need to spill this water. So the Panama Canal is embarking in a $2 billion project in the future to be able to guarantee the right amount of water for our operation. Also, 55% of the country of Panama drinks water from the 2 lakes that feed the canal. So we have 2 main goals: water consumption and shipping. So we're looking at different projects. We're looking from segmentation of Gatun Lake to be able to increase the storage, making smaller dams within the lake and raise the lake level to a higher elevation. We're looking at desalination potential projects. We're looking at pipelines to move water from one watershed to another. So this is a project that we're working on. We're analyzing many options, and eventually we will go out to bid with a package to provide additional water resources for operations and potable water. Another thing that is very important is we have pledged that we will be carbon neutral by 2030. So the things we're doing to keep up with climate change is we will go to renewable energy from 70% to 100% clean energy into solar or water, which we have, we do have 2 hydro producing plants. We're planning on doing consolidation of 33 of our facilities in the Atlantic, between the Atlantic and the Pacific. We also increase our investment for CO2 capture with reforestation projects. Electric mobility cars, we have already started to change our fleet. We're also going to go for a purchase of 10 hybrid tugs with an option of 10 more. And also we're analyzing a toll structure that will include the CO2 emission considerations for our customers. If we go to inclusion, the Panama Canal has been a male-dominated industry for many years, and that's the inertia. I mean, we're at over 100-year canal, but things that we are changing is we got the gender equality seal. Even though we are an equal opportunity employer, only 10% of the workforce is female. But the expansion helped that a little bit because we were 14% women working in the Panama Canal expansion program. So we're trying to incentivize for women to apply in non-traditional jobs, and that so that they are also able to go into leadership roles and management roles. So out of that 12% women, even though we had the merit system, we were not targeting or tailoring women to apply for non-traditional jobs. So we have, after we got the seal of gender equality, we are now more aware and more cautious, and we are changing our communication policies to make it more inclusive. So out of that 12% of women that are the workforce of the Panama Canal, by the way, we are about 8,800 employees, only 51 in non-traditional roles that are not maritime. And then we have 136 women that are in non-traditional jobs that are maritime related, and we are mainly a maritime operation. So we see there's a slow increase, and we are trying to make this more common. So we're working in our policies more on the communication side of it, because we've always been an equal opportunity employer, but we want ladies, people to apply for non-traditional jobs. As far as leadership goes, a couple of tips that I can say from my experience in the Panama Canal expansion program is that leadership is the same as inclusion, participation, and connection. That's how we reach leadership, definitely. Teamwork is key. Something that I make a point to do wherever I am is get involved in the different aspects of the different projects of the people that work with me alongside. It's very important to be involved in everything. Not only do you learn a lot from different aspects, but you also are sending the very good message that you care, that the person, that whatever they're doing, it's important, it's meaningful, and it's going to the common good. So it's very important to be very participative in everything that you do. Also, leadership is, how do you keep the team together? How do you hold it when there's challenges ahead? Here's a picture of the day when the contractor had a labor stoppage. He just basically finished the project claiming that he was having cost overruns and he needed payment in order to continue. So the work was stopped for 2 weeks. This is it's a $5.2 billion project, so there was a lot of pressure. So leadership is about sending that strong message out there that things will work out and we'll make things work as a team. Another example of a challenge that we had was some seepages. We were doing some testing of part of the construction, and we had some concrete that cracked, so that was not supposed to happen. So what is leadership? Holding it together and work as a team to solve problems. And I will close with my 3 favorite quotes that I really, really like. The number 1 is your attitude and not your aptitude that will determine your altitude, from Zig Ziglar. I think if you have people with the right attitude, they will learn the skills that they need to be a team player. It's of no good to have somebody very brilliant that has the wrong attitude and will not be a team player and will not cooperate. So to me, attitude is key for a development. We are all leaders, and it's reflected in our daily lives. Whether if we're aware of it or not, we're always impacting somebody in our day-to-day, in our behavior, in the way we act. whether if it's a coworker, our kids, our neighbors, our friends, or even somebody you will know along the street. So we also always need to be aware that what we do reflects and people see us. And leadership isn't a right, it's not a category or a rank, it's something you learn every day. So with that, I give you a little insight of the Panama Canal on those three items: sustainability, inclusion, and leadership. Thank you again very much for having me participate in this conference.